So I just introduced you in the quiz that what is a non-monic quadratic? A quadratic expression of this form where the number in front of x squared is not 1. Okay, that's called non-monic. Things like this have a 2 in front, but that's not a common factor. Or has a... Okay, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to factorize this expression. There's 3 ways. Okay, there are 3 ways. I will show you all 3 ways. You just have to choose one of the way, depending on which one you like. I will show all different ways. There's only 3 ways available. Let's go through the first way. Okay, we're going to factorize this 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. First step, multiply the coefficient of x squared by the constant term. So coefficient x squared is 2 by the constant term. So you do 2 times 3 equal to 6. That's the first step. Times the 2 and 3 together. Alright? Now, once you get that number, you have to find 2 numbers which multiply to get 6, and then 2 numbers which add to get 7. Get the idea? Times to get 6, add to get 7. Yes, same number. You got it. 6 and 1, it does have to be the same number. So that's the only step that's different. And the next step is also slightly different as well. Alright, because it has a 2x squared in front, what we need to do is to split this term. You're going to split the x term. The x term is the one I highlight. Where's my highlighter? So this thing, we're going to split that into 2 terms. Which 2 terms do I split into? I'll split into the 2 terms I've just found, the 6 and the 1. 6x plus x. And then you got the 2x squared in front, and then the plus 3. So you see the 7x is split into 6x plus x. You're going to get it. Okay, what's 6x plus x? 7, right? Yeah, so you split that into 2 terms using the numbers you just found. Yeah? Okay, so the next step. The next step is to factorize by grouping in pairs. Remember 4 terms we learned how to group in pairs? So we're going to group in pairs. Now, what's the common factor between the first 2 pairs? No, not just x, it's 2x. So you go 2x, bracket, what goes inside the bracket? X plus 3. Not 6 because it's 2 times 3, it's 6. How about the second one? There's nothing, right? There's nothing in common. When there's nothing in common, you put a 1. X plus 3. Right? So you split the middle term into 2 parts. Group in pairs. And then, now what do you notice? They have a common, the common 2 terms, right? Common expression, which you can call a thingy. So we'll take that thingy out. X, yep. A number in front of x. Or you take that number out, but in this case, there's nothing. Yeah, you take that number out. You take a common factor out. It has to be common. If it's not common, then you just take a 1 out. Okay? Alright, so you take x plus 3 out. Right? And you write down the leftovers, which is 2x plus 1. Like this. Any question? So the 2x here, 1 goes here. Now you take the common factor out, x plus 3. So what's left over? The 2x and the 1. Say again, you say? There's a time, but you don't write it. Yeah. Okay, so this is method 1. I will show you the other method, which you may prefer, which can be a little bit shorter. So I will show you how the second method works. I'm going to do the same question using the second method. Okay, let's try this. And there's also a guess and check available. Say again. All right, let's try another one. How about the second one? We're going to do this again, method 2. Method 2, you still have to do the same step, times 2 and 3 together. Step 1, 2 times 3, which is 6. And find two numbers which multiply to get 6, add to get 3, add to get 7. Which two numbers? It's 1 and 6 again, right? But the second step is different. The first step is the same, the second step is different. So what you do is this. You're going to write two brackets. This could be more familiar to you. But what do you put inside the two brackets? Well, you will be putting 1 and a 6 like we usually do. However, you have to put 2x in both brackets. 2x here, 2x there. Right? Because the first number is 2, you must put 2x, 2x. But that's not your final answer. You must write over 2. So, yeah, that could be confusing. But this 2 here has to be placed here, here, and there. The 7 is 1 plus 6, right? You just go 1 and 6. So, using this method, you have to do one extra step because you have to cancel the denominator. How do you cancel the denominator? You take, now between these two brackets, which one has a common factor? That one, right? What's the common factor? Let's take the 2 out. So write 2x plus 1. You take that 2 out, and what's left over? X plus 3 over the 2 again. Now what will happen to the 2? They get cancelled, and you're left with 2x plus 1, x plus 3. Is that the same answer as before with the splitting method? Same answer, right? So which one you prefer really depends on your taste. Some people don't like this. They don't like factorizing. Some people like grouping pairs. Up to you. So who likes method 2? Maybe method 2? Yep. Who likes method 1? Yep. So you can use either method in the exam. I'll show you the third method. Maybe you like the third one. Guess and check. Guess and check. Alright, I'll show you how guess and check work. Listen. Shh. Okay, let's do guess and check. Guess and check. So let's write down the expression. 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. How do you guess and check? Watching? Shh. Alright. This is what we call, sometimes the text will call it the cross method. Say again. Oh, plus 3. Plus 3, sorry. Plus 3. Okay. So how do you do guess and check? You're going to write two brackets straight away. You do not need to multiply 2 and 3. In fact, do not multiply them. So you're going to guess and check. Now, you have to find two terms which multiply to get 2x squared. Which two terms would it be? 2x and x. So you guess what's going to be the answer. Now, which two terms which multiply to get 3? Well, you can put 3 here, or you can put like this, right? So there's two ways. You can either write this, or you can write 2x, x here, and then you write plus 1. Because there's two ways to guess, right? There's two places you can put. You can either put 3 here, 1 there, or 1 here, 3 there. Now, which one will be correct? You just have to check it. How do you check? You just go like this. You expand. What's 3x times x? 3x. 2x times 1. Does that give you 7x? No, that must be wrong, right? How about this one? X times 1 is x. 2x times 3 is 6x. What does it give you? So that's the correct one. Does that make sense? So you have to check it. Guess and check. That's why you guess it and check whether it works. Doesn't work, guess another one. Yeah, you might like this one, which can be shorter, but you might have to do a lot of working. You have to keep guessing. Whereas this one, no guesswork. You just work out. All right. So there's 3 ways. It doesn't matter which way you use. Yeah. Okay. And if you think one way that's not good, after a few questions, change your method. Use the first way. Any question? All right. Let's show of hand. Who likes method 3? A few, maybe. All right. What I'm going to do is this. I think I may do method 2 from now on because it seems to be this is a more obvious method. Because you missed the first lesson. Okay. All right. You like the guessing one? Okay. Let's move on. We've got 2 more questions to do. Then you can do the exercise. All right. Let's get started. You will? You will. Okay. All right. Let's use the first method. You go like this. Using either method 1 or 2, you must multiply 10 by negative 9. All right? So you do 10 times negative 9. What's that equal to? Yeah, the disadvantage about method 1 or 2, you get a very big number due to the multiplication. Whereas guess and check, you won't have to multiply them, getting a very big number. Now this is hard, right? Because that's a very big number, there's so many possibilities. So we're going to use a calculator to help me. So what numbers which multiply to get 90? Negative 90, add to get 9. Now what's 90? Now is 90 divisible by 15? Let's try 15. 6. Now 15 plus negative 6, does that give you? Yeah, it gives you. I got it. So write 15 and negative 6. Yep. Yeah. Now what if you didn't do that? What if you were not lucky? Now if you're not lucky, you have to list everything. So you start with all the possibilities. You go 1 and 90, 2 and 45, 3 and 30. But you know they have to add up to 9, so the numbers has to be a little bit close. Not so far. So you go, does it work with 4? Doesn't work. 5, it works. 5 times, what's 5 times what? 5 times 16? No, 5 times 18, right? Doesn't work, and then you keep trying. What's the next one? 6 and 15. And sort of it works, so it must be this one. But because it adds up to 9, one of them, the bigger one must be positive, the small one must be negative. Get the idea? Now once you get the numbers, you can either use method 1 or 2. Let's use method 1. Method 1 is, I will do all 3 methods. Method 1, you will get split the middle term. So that middle term will be, instead of 9x, you write 15x minus 6x. But everything stay unchanged. And then you group in pairs. Now this part can be difficult because what's the common factor between these two? 10x squared and 15x. What's the common factor? 5x. Which you left with what? 2x plus 3. Yes? How about the second two? What's common? Negative 3. Have to take the negative out. So write negative 3, 2x plus 3. You have to notice they must be the same. If they are not the same, you made a mistake. Because this has to come out as a common factor. So you took the negative 3 out, 2x plus 3. Now what's common? 2x plus 3 is common. And you write down the leftovers. What's left over? 5x minus 3. That's your final answer. That's method 1. I'll do method 2. Well, the 15x, there's a common factor between 10x squared and 15x. 5x is common, right? See, 5x times 2x, 10x squared. 5x times 3, 15x. And 1 is method 1, method 2. Everything else is the factorization of this. This is the answer. Yes. This is what we want, negative 6x. Oh, the 15x, I got it here. The 15 minus 6 was split from the 9x. No, because it's too hot. That's why I turn off automatically. See the 9x? 15. Yeah, 10x squared. 5x times 3, 15x. 5 times 3 is 15. Yes? 3 times 5, 15. Okay. All right, let's do the second method. The second method requires you to write. Now, the expression is 10x squared. So you write 10x over 10. So if the first number is 10, you write 10 everywhere. And what do you put in the other bit? You put the 15 and the minus 6. See the 15 and minus 6? Put it here. I think you probably prefer this method. Doesn't require as many steps. And then what do you do next? You have to factorize. What's common? 5 is common in the first one, so you write 2x plus 3. And the second bracket, there's a common as well. What's common? 2. So you get that. Now, why do we need to do this? Because we need to cancel the 5 and 2 with the 10. Because 5 times 2 is 10. What you will get with this. Maybe from now on, use this method. It's much easier. Right, like this. Because some people might because it makes logical sense. Because it's splitting the two terms. This one doesn't make much sense. Why do I put 10 there? There's not much reasoning behind it, except that it works. Yeah. And then how about method 3? Guess and check. Let's show you how guess and check work. All right, 10x squared. Now, guess and check will be hard for this one. Why is it hard for this one? You're going to look at, let me get the question ready. 10x squared plus 9x minus 9. Okay, now guess and check, there's lots of possibilities. What's 10? 10 is 10x or x, or you can do 2x here, 5x there. Can you see there's two possibilities? And then you have to look at the 9, which is 1 and negative 9, 3 and negative 3, which have different ways of placing them. So you can put 1 here, and then negative 3 there, or you can put negative 1 here, negative 9, or negative 9 and 1 here, right? Or you can put 3 there. Actually, I'll write down all possibilities. Let me finish with this, sorry. Okay, so we got 10x and x, right? Oops. 10x and x. And then you can put positive 1, minus 9, negative 9, plus 1, 3, negative 3. Can you see the guess and check can be very long? And then you also have to check this one, which is 2x, 5x, which you have to put all the possibilities. So how many do you have to check? You have to check 10 of them. 8 of them, right? You have to check everything, which can be very long. So I'll leave you to do that later on. So maybe the best method is method 2. So I will do method 2 on this one, and we'll finish. Okay, just do one more. We'll do this very slowly. Very slowly. Okay, let's do this. First step. What's the first step? 6 times 12. Yep. Oh yeah, you have to check all of them, see which one works. Yeah, that's why it's not recommended. But if you want, guess and check. But some people, they know this doesn't work straight away. So 1 times x is x. Negative 90 doesn't give you the middle term 9x. So you can tell quickly that some of these doesn't work very quickly, and then just disregard them. And then you keep checking until you get one that works. All right. Last one. Step 1. Step 1 is this. 6 times 12. What's 6 times 12? 72. All right. Find two numbers which multiply to get 72. Add to get negative 17. So what you need to do is you have to prepare a list of things that multiply to get 72. Now obviously it has to be negative. So you do negative 1 times negative 72. Negative 2 times 36. No. Negative 3 times, what would the next one be? Negative 3 times 24? Okay. Does it work? No. What's the next one? Negative 4 times, no, hang on. Is that 16? Negative 4 times 18, right? Does it work? And what's the next one? 5 and 6. What's negative 6 times and 12? Doesn't work. Did I do 5? No, 5 doesn't work. Oh. Oh, no, negative 8, negative 9. Actually, they're both negative. Yeah, negative 8, negative 9. That works, right? So you may have to check lots of possibilities. So you write negative 8, negative 9, negative 8, negative 9. And then let's use method 2. Method 2 is, what do you have to put? 6x, 6x, 6. Right? And then you found the numbers in the first step 1, write negative 8, negative 9. And you factorize both. So you write, take the 2 out, which is 2 bracket 3x minus 4. What do I do? So I see the 6 and 8, what's common? 2, right? So you took the 2 out, what's left? 3x minus 4. Can you see that? You took the 2 from both the 8 and the 6. How about the second bracket? What's common? 3, 2x minus 3 over 6. And what will happen? The 2 and the 3 cancel the 6 out. Which means you're left with this. Done. That's your factorize. Any question? So non-monic can be very tricky. I'll show you all 3 methods. I think method 2 seems to be the simplest. Okay, but you're welcome to use guess and check if you like. Yeah, you can. Oh, you want to do it? Okay, I'll show you how method 1 works. That's okay. Yep. All right, let's do method 1. All right. Method 1. Watching? Method 1. Now with method 1, you write 6x squared, but remember the numbers you found, negative 8 and negative 9, you split that into 2 terms, negative 8x, negative 9x, plus 12, right? You split into 2 terms, take common factor out, group in pairs, 2x is common, minus 4, then the other one, negative 3x, negative 3 is common. Get the idea like this. The 3x minus 4 is common, so therefore you take this out, which can also be quick as well. You don't have to cancel things. All right. Thank you. That's good. All right, any question? We'll freeze this. You do today exercise 8G. I recommend you do the easy one as well. It's not just the hard one, okay? Yeah, I will. That's why.